Welcome to part 2 of today's episode of Dog Turds into Diamonds here with AFC Rushden and Diamonds. Yeah, we are ready for our 40th league game of the season. We are away to second place Bromley. This is going to be a really difficult game. I think I'm going to have to go super defensive to get anything from this one. If we look around at our rivals for that final playoff spot, you can see if we look at Notts County, they are at home against Swindon, who are in 4th place. Swindon are also an excellent team on really good form. I mean, the first half of the season, I think they were down below mid-table. They have just had an amazing second half of the season, blowing a lot of teams away. That will be really difficult for Notts County, so that could really help us. Cheltenham are away at Woking. Woking are 18th, and they are actually on a decent little run. They were really struggling to battle relegation. They're 4 points clear of the relegation zone now. They are getting a few good results, so hopefully they can cause Cheltenham problems. Scunthorpe are away at Gloucester, who are of course the dominant team in the league. So I think it's really unlikely that Scunthorpe are going to get any points there. And Barnet are at home against Dagenham and Redbridge, who are 6th. So everybody vying for that last playoff spot has a really tough game this week. So, I mean, that could really go in our favour if we can at least avoid defeat in this game, maybe even pull out an unexpected victory. That could really give us a little bit of a cushion yet again. So, I mean, it's all speculation. We've got to play the game and see what happens. First of all, I've got to organise the team, but I thought before we did that, I'd show you just a little couple of transfers that we've got on the horizon right now. We've got all of these green players here, players that were released by Premier League clubs or are going to be released at the end of the season, and I've offered 2 of them contracts. Now, the first is Gary Roberts. He is a 17-year-old midfielder, and he looks absolutely great for our level. Mentally, superb. With that positioning, the teamwork, the composure. He's aggressive. He makes great decisions. He's a real leader as well. Physically, he looks a fine athlete to play in the midfield. And in terms of his dribbling and his passing, he looks like he could be a really good creative central midfielder. So we've offered him a contract. Where is he at the moment? He is being released by Liverpool. So I think that would be a really good signing if we can get it confirmed. So that's Gary Roberts. And then the other player we have offered a contract to from this little batch here is, I'm going to try and say it, Akim Azornwaffer. A Swedish player being released by Southampton at the end of his contract this season. He is a defender, a left back or a wing back, but I don't think he looks like a defender at all. With that tackling, marking and heading, I don't think he's a defender. I think he can be one of the best left wingers in the Vanarama National League. With his crossing, his dribbling, his first touch, his passing, I think he is going to be an absolutely superb winger. So hopefully he will accept my contract offer. And with his 15 pace, 14 agility, 15 balance, I think he can be a left winger and a half for the Vanarama National League next season. I think he really looks like a player we could build a team around. So hopefully he will get confirmed. Aside from that, we have had our youth intake. If I go and look at the under-18s, we've had our youth intake, as you would expect, by the fact that we have poor youth facilities, no head of youth development, and we are part-time training. As you would expect, it is not the greatest group you'll ever see, but I have offered, where will I find him here? I'm struggling to find him. I have offered a goalkeeper a contract here, and now I can't even see where he is. Let me have a look. Is it Jonas Freeberg? No, he is a young centre back. if I go to squad, that should make it easier to find. If I go by best position. So now I am extremely confused because I thought it must be Filip Jovicic. There you go, Filip Jovicic, a 16-year-old Swedish goalkeeper. We're looking for Swedes now, as you can see. 14 handling, 14 reflexes. He looks like he's got a little bit about him. Physically, he's not too bad. I mean, he's got 2.5 star potential. Yeah, he's basically the best of the bunch this year. So we've offered him a contract. We'll see if anything comes of him over the coming years. But that's basically the state of our youth setup. So there you go. So there's 3 young players that we're hoping to have confirmed for next season. Looking at the team for today's game, I'm going to go almost with the same team as the last fixture, but I am going to make a couple of important changes. Jack Earing, who is a little bit tired after the last game, is going to change out for Jake Reeves. He is going to come in there as a deep line playmaker on defend. And Gibbs is also a little bit tired. I think I'm going to start with him on the bench. And I'm going to bring Matt Butcher in, and I'm going to play 3 central midfielders. And I'm going to see if that can help us compete defensively more than anything else. That aside, I'm going to stick with the same team that played so well in the last game. I will leave Liam Gibbs and Jack Earing as options on the bench there. That aside, it's Sam Blair in goal, Jay Williams, Nick Radcliffe as the fullbacks, Gabadebo and George Ray at the back. George Ray, I've been told, needs a rest because he is fatigued again, but I cannot leave him out for this game. He's just too important. Then in midfield, we'll have Jake Reeves, Isaac Smith and Matt Butcher, Joe Hardy and Thomas Hughes on the wings, James Price once again up front. Hopefully he can keep his goal scoring form going. So let's submit that team and let's get forward to the tactics. If we just have a look here, I think I do need to make some important changes. They are playing with a number 10 with attacking wingers as we get stuck while the teams are warming up, apparently. There you go. Let's see first of all tactically how we want to adjust here. What I am going to do, I'm going to bring Smith into the defensive holding midfielder role, and I'm going to make him a ball winning midfielder. So he is going to be in there marking their number 10 and giving us hopefully a little bit more support there. And I'm going to make Butcher. Now, do I play 2 ball winning midfielders? I really don't know. I think what I might do with Butcher is actually make him more of a Masala to get us a little bit more width on the attack by virtue of the fact that we're not playing a number 10 today. So just giving us a little bit more in attack with Butcher there. We'll see how that plays out. Now I'm going to ask George Ray to mark their striker. He is not the most prolific of strikers, so hopefully George Ray can handle him with Gabadebo backing him up. And then Terrell Harris, who is an excellent young attacking midfielder. We're going to have Isaac Smith man-to-man marking him. Hughes is then going to mark their fullback down his side of the pitch, as is Hardy on the other side. And that, apart from that, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stop the overlaps, and I guess maybe we need to play a little bit more direct with not having a number 10. I think I'm going to do that. A little bit more direct to start with, and we are going to distribute to the flanks just to try and get over and above their front 4. Now, do I want to be pushing them outside? I think I probably do. I'm going to leave it at that. I might need to change that as well, but I'm going to just drop back to a standard defensive line, and I'm going to drop back the line of engagement. So I'm making what I think are sort of quite considerable tactical changes for this game. Hopefully they are going to have an impact. There you go. This is our last chance to exact revenge on Bromley. Do I want to go with the revenge angle? I'm going to do it. The players have reacted. I feel like the revenge angle is a team talk that works in terms of getting players motivated, but doesn't really work in terms of getting results necessarily. We'll see what happens. So at the moment I've got Reeves playing as the box-to-box midfielder. I might make him a playmaker to make use of his passing ability. We'll see how things go as they get an early chance straight at Blair. We can't afford too many of those today. We have got to be more solid if we want to get anything out of this game, as they now get another highlight. I think I'm going to have to look at things, aren't I? At the moment, they have had the strongest start in the game, but it's another one that's easy for Blair to deal with. Can we get something on the break here with Hardy? He gets onto it. Price going on. Can Price finish? He forces a great save. And if we can keep going like that through the rest of this game, we might have a chance. I think the counter-attack here is where we are going to be best suited. I don't think we're going to get much out of them in regular possession play. Again, it comes back to Blair. At the moment, we kind of look comfortable with what they've got to give us on the attack. Up to Price. He holds it up nicely. Reeves into Hardy. And Joe Hardy scores his 13th of the season. That is a fantastic goal. Lovely ball from Radcliffe into Price. Price holds it up and Reeves with a lovely ball into Hardy there. Hardy finishes it very coolly. We have not seen enough of that this season. But that is a really delightful goal, and hopefully now we can do better than we have in recent weeks and maybe just start to close up a little bit and hang on to this as they go straight forward and get a cross in. Oh man. Oh dear. We are just absolutely incapable of defending a lead. We really are. I mean, that is so simple. And Ray has let Ashley Seal get away from him there in just the simplest of runs. And again, our advantage just barely lasted a couple of minutes. I'm going to make a change here just to make Jake Reeves a deep line playmaker. It's not his best position, but he's got that fantastic passing ability. Hopefully, he can use that from a deep line position and just help us have a little bit more of the ball. We'll see how it goes as they now start to take control. Wood coming forward. And just like that, we are 2-1 down. After taking the lead and looking decent in the early exchanges, Wood has just gone through unchecked. It was Butcher that let him run completely free from the midfield. And we're now from 1-0 up, just like that, we're 2-1 down. And Cheltenham are winning away at Woking. And you can see we are actually having more shots at goal than Bromley. And that has been the story of so many games this season where statistically we have looked good and we just haven't been able to take advantage of it. Come on, let's do this, guys. Come on. If we lose this here and Cheltenham win, I think things start to look very, very difficult. Come on, boys, let's keep these shots going. I mean, we've got better XG. They've only got a 0.4 XG. But they have scored 2 and they now have a corner. And if one goes in here, it is all over without doubt. We haven't defended well enough again, and Brown goes very close with that one. What changes can I make here? I've now got to start taking risks, haven't I? Swindon are up at Notts County, which is excellent for us. Our defenders here are absolutely shattered. Thomas Hughes has been abysmal. Ronan Curtis will come in there. And I think I'm going to make a change for Isaac Smith for Liam Gibbs. We are no longer going to mark their number 10. Liam Gibbs comes in, and we are looking for him to pull something out of the bag as an attacking playmaker. And that means that I think we'll make Butcher the box-to-box midfielder, and we're going to make Reeves, I think, a ball-winning midfielder at the back there. What else do I want to change? I think I'm going to put the overlaps on. So I think I'm also going to shoot on sight, and we're going to play with a higher tempo, and we're going to let the players be more expressive. Yeah, we've just got to go for this now, haven't we? Let's distribute quickly from the goalkeeper. And we are going to move these lines of engagement up as well with an attacking mentality. Let's see if Curtis and Gibbs can just give us a little bit more up top now to try and grab this point. We are well in this game. We've played well. Just against the top teams, and especially away from home, it's just been the story of our season. As Gibbs loses it there, and they're now on the attack with a chance to finish it, and they do. Zach Brown, and the instant we make those changes and we go more attacking, we go more open, and we get punished. And Nick Radcliffe, who has been abysmal at left back, who I'm trying to keep motivated to sign a new contract, has just let his man go there. Really disappointing, and they are now really taking control, although we have had more shots on target. And they get another chance there, and it's very nearly 4. We're being well beaten again. We are just not good enough at the back. Now Butcher and Reeves in midfield, and we've lost it again with Gabadebo. That is a sloppy pass, and I think you can see there is very little possibility, I think, of us getting back into this now, unless we can maybe score with this attack here. Reeves loses the ball as well, and they are in again with a simple ball over the top, and the changes, rather than helping us, have just made us more vulnerable. Really, really poor. And Ray, who's absolutely shattered, is done again. His man-to-man marking responsibilities have just been a complete and utter failure today. 4-1, and you have to say it really doesn't reflect the game that we've played. We have been more competitive than that. It's just been a big disappointment. I'm going to bring Radcliffe off. I'm going to bring Lee Brown on to finish the game. Radcliffe has been really poor. And I mean, I guess I've got to console myself with the fact that we've won one of today's games. You see Bromley have now had more shots on target just since the changes, since we went more attacking. They've just completely torn us apart. It's not worked at all. As I say, I think in the summer we've got to have a complete rebuild. It will be a very different looking squad next season. As Price goes in and makes it 4-2, I don't think it's going to count for anything now. Getting another 2 in this game, I think, is well beyond us. But at the very least, James Price keeps his goal scoring form going, which is going to be really important for the end of the season. Can we maybe get more? Can we get one more here just to make it interesting? We are on the attack again, but they've cut that out easily again. Those long balls, we've just been very, very poor. And they're in again, and it's 5-2. And once again, George Ray is just completely caught out. He's supposed to be tightly man-marking Ashley Seal. He has got nowhere near him all afternoon. And in terms of goal difference, this is now really, really disappointing. I think Cheltenham have absolutely been handed the initiative here. I think we have basically got to go unbeaten the rest of the season to get into those playoffs. I mean, we have had the majority of our tough games now. We've just got, as Price has a really good effort from range, we've just got the Notts County at home is our toughest game to finish the season. That aside, we have in theory got winnable games to play as Curtis gets it in for Joe Hardy. Another goal for him, which is great. Hardy and Price scoring goals to end the season. Those two at least look on good form. And Gibbs just helping run the play there. Nice finish from Joe Hardy. Let's just give them another push. I think it would be an absolute miracle for us to get anything out of this now. Yeah, I think our games are winnable to end the season. It's not completely lost, but and the fact that we won our previous game really helps us. But yeah, I mean, once again, we just cannot defend. I don't know. I've tried to change our defensive setup. It hasn't worked. I think we're just really, really struggling. So looking at the other results, Barnet have lost to Dagenham and Redbridge, which is huge for us. Scunthorpe have lost away at Gloucester. Cheltenham have unfortunately beaten Woking. So they now have the advantage. If they win the rest of their games this season, they will get that last playoff spot. If we look at when we're going to next be back, I think it will probably be for the last game of the season, if that game is going to decide who gets that playoff spot, perhaps. Hopefully, Cheltenham have some tough games to finish. Yeah, I think we're just relying on other teams now to do us a favour. We had it in our own hands. We have had a really poor run of form. We are really struggling to stay fit and complete the end of the season. It's not been easy, as things seem to really slow down now as I try to get to see the fixtures so we can see when we're next coming back. Yeah, it really doesn't want to load up. There you go. Yeah, so look, we've got 4 games left. I think they are all winnable games, with Notts County being at home. I think that's winnable. Kidderminster and Woking are down towards the bottom of the table. They have both beaten us this season, I believe. And Eastleigh away is not quite so easy either. But I think a lot of it could depend on what Cheltenham have now. But we are on just a horrible, horrible run of form. Cheltenham, you can see, they've drawn 16 of their games this season. They have not been easy to beat. Sol Campbell, the manager. I mean, you look at their form. Gloucester at home, you would expect them to lose. Notts County away is difficult. Outside of that, I mean, they have Eastleigh and Kidderminster just like we do. They're playing them at home, though. I think they should win those home games. I think Gloucester at home and Notts County away, they could possibly find difficult. I think it's going to be really, really tight. I think if it comes down to the last game of the season, we will come back for the last game of the season. If it's still looking uncertain, with a couple of games left, I think we might do a double header there. Notts County at home and then Eastleigh away. Hopefully we are on shocking form. Hopefully we can now get our act together and just string a few results together to get ourselves into those playoffs. There you go. I mean, it's high drama, but let's see if we can do it. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, drop a like on it, and we will see you next time for the end of season finale here on Dog Turds into Diamonds. Bye for now.